So what happened when you entered the building?
As soon as I saw this sign that says ID is required, I instantly took pictures of these signs.
So they're telling you can't record in a public building.
In a public space. It doesn't get more public than the town clerk's office. So I walk right past them and go to the town clerk's office, right? I go, hey, completely ignored them, right?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning. Where and when did this all begin?
This all started in at the end of March of 2023.
Okay.
I went to the Huntington Town Hall in Suffolk County, Long Island. I was there to get a copy of my mother's death certificate because I needed it for paperwork. But as soon as you go to the building, right before you walk in, they have a sign that says ID is required to enter the building, not requested. Those two words are very different, folks. Requested means they're asking you for ID, and you have the right to say yes or no to it. Requiring is different than requesting. Requesting is asking you, and requiring is demanding ID to enter your public building. That's like you having to show ID to enter your house or your apartment.
Right.
Would you, when you walk up to your house, would you ever show ID to enter your house or your apartment? No, because you own it. Well, those public buildings like the town halls, city halls, and any government building, that is owned by us. We, the people, own that building. The government forgets that they work for us. Until we commit a crime, we are their bosses, and they need to understand this.
So did you commit a crime when you entered the building?
Nope.
Okay. So you had no legal obligation
To show my ID.
Okay. And so what happened when you entered the building?
Well, as soon as I saw the sign that says ID is required, I instantly took pictures of these signs because I know that's proof that it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So, and as soon as you walk into the building, there's the security desk right there when you first walk in, right? So I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Huntington Town Hall, but their parking lot's actually in the back of the building.
I haven't been to that town hall personally, but I'm sure people have.
Because it's in the village of Huntington, the front doors are actually facing the road and the sidewalk.
Okay.
So the parking
lot,
like
on Main Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah. So you park into the back of the parking lot, and that's where you walk into the town hall. So I go to the security desk and I said, "Look, I'm going to go to the town clerk's office." He's like, "Well, you got to show ID." I said, "No, I don't."
Did he point to one of the signs that said,
"Oh yeah,
quiet?
oh yeah." He's like, "Oh, you can't enter the building unless you show ID." I said, "Hold on a second." So I call the police. Just so I have it on record that I called first, right?
Right.
I said, "Hey, I said," and I called the non-emergency number, folks, because it was a non-emergency, right?
Right.
A lot of people, they dial 911 even if it's not an emergency.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that. People do it all the time, though. And they never get charged for it anyway,
Yeah.
to be honest. So I dialed the non-emergency number and I said, "Hey, I said, you might want to send some officers here at the Huntington Town Hall." I said, because my rights are being violated and about to get violated more. And you're going to need to send some officers down here. Oh, they're like, "Oh, well, it's not really an emergency. I mean, we'll send officers down there, but they'll get there when they get there." I said, "It may turn into an emergency."
Well, what made you think at this point that this might become an emergency? Like, did you just get a vibe from this security guard that he was going to become violent or something like that?
The tyranny was all over his face.
Your spidey senses for tyranny were going off?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like ding, 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 tyranny, ding, 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 Yeah. My Guido senses kicked in there, so
it's not often that a Guido calls the police.
Yeah, I know.
So
yeah, but listen, I don't like calling the police on anybody, but this is the government we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I know how they
You're how they are, especially towards Italians historically.
and I know how they operate, so that's why I beat them to the punch.
Right.
I knew the cops weren't going to do shit about it, let's be honest.
Yeah, but at least you have it on record.
But I have it on record, exactly.
And you knew there was a chance this was going to end up in court, so you wanted to have your ducks in a row.
I knew exactly how it was going to turn out, and it happened.
Almost like Nostradamus.
Yep, I knew exactly how it was going to turn out, and it turned out exactly the way I thought.
Okay. So what happened from this point? So you called the police, then you go back to the death.
Yeah, I called the police. I said, they're like, oh, well, it's not an emergency, but we're going to send people down. We're going to send officers down there, but it's going to be a while. So, listen, it may be an emergency, but you want to take your time, go ahead. All right. End of the call, right? I go to the counter. I said, look, man, I said, we only got like 20 minutes left and I got somewhere to be. So I'm going to the town clerk's office. He's like, no, you're not entering. I said, no, you're not listening to me. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you I'm going to the town clerk's office. So I walk right past him and go to the town clerk's office, right? I go completely ignored him, right? So
now, did he get pissed right when you walked past him? Did he like stand up right away? Was he yelling something at you?
I didn't even look behind me. I just walked right past him.
Was he yelling after you to stop? Or
yeah, of course he did. So of course I didn't listen. I'm not going to listen to his unlawful direct. I don't even listen to the police. You think I'm going to listen to him?
Okay.
He's a rent-a-cop. So anyway, so I wasn't going to listen to his unlawful demand. So I went to the town clerk's office, and then he follows me, and he tells everybody in the town clerk's office, don't help this gentleman because he didn't identify. So I'm like, so let me get this straight. He violated my 4th Amendment right. Now he's trying to violate my 14th Amendment right. You can't deny public services to the public in a public building unless the person commits a crime first.
And it's not a crime for you to not identify yourself.
That's right. I never committed a crime. I mean, their policy doesn't supersede law. Law supersedes policy.
Right.
Federal law supersedes state law. State law supersedes city law. And city law supersedes town ordinances.
Right.
So that's how it goes from top down, folks. So, number one, federal law, which would be civil rights, is federal law. And they can't make laws that go against our civil rights, but they do all the time. And the only way it gets beat is when you challenge it. But anyway, getting back to the story. So
he follows you upstairs. He's telling everybody, don't help this guy.
It's all on the first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all.
So he follows you to the town clerk's office and goes, don't help this guy. He didn't identify.
Yep. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, he violated my 4th and my 14th Amendments. Now I'm whipping out my camera and I'm going to record my injustice. Now they're trying to violate my 1st Amendment right.
Because they're telling you can't record in a public building.
In a public space. It doesn't get more public than the town clerk's office.
And they're telling you you're not allowed to record there.
Yep. So the head of security finally comes down, the public safety director, Joe Srigliano. He comes down and he goes, you can't record here. This is a private area. I go, no, this is public. On the other side of that counter is employees only and authorized personnel only. But where I'm standing is public. And I can record anything I could see.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I forget what he said. He mumbled something where he's like, oh, I want to stop you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and he picks up this big, did you ever walk into a public building? It is these big metal signs with an arrow pointing in a certain direction.
Right.
Same thing in courthouses. They have them all the time, like the big metal thing with the big arrow pointing in a different direction.
Yeah, tell you which way to go.
Exactly. So he picks this big metal sign up and he's trying to block me from recording.
Right.
So that is what you call prior restraint.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I continue, let me explain what prior restraint is, folks. So in California, they have a California law called the Tom Bain Act. And it's basically, the Tom Bain Act is government officials and public officials, they can't stop you from doing your constitutional rights. That's called the Tom Bain Act. They're committing a crime by doing that. It's a federal crime. Well, at the time, it was a state law by California. But the government, I guess the Supreme Court, I guess they liked it so much that they decided to make it a federal law. But they couldn't call it the Tom Bain Act because that was a state law. So they called it prior restraint. But if you look up prior restraint and you look up the Tom Bain Act, They're pretty much identical. So prior restraint came from the California law, but now it's good in all the states in our country.
Yeah.
And it's
You're allowed to publicly film. You're allowed to publicly film anything. You're allowed to film public servants. That's why,
in the course of their duties.
that's why if you see somebody getting arrested and you're recording them, you're doing a public service to hold everybody involved accountable.
Yeah, as long as you're standing in a public space.
Yeah, if you're not obstructing the officers from making the arrest, all you're doing is making a public documentation that benefits everybody, because if the cops aren't doing anything wrong and the suspect isn't resisting arrest, it's just holding everybody involved accountable.
Exactly. But cops are so ignorant, because whenever they don't have shit on you, their go-to is either disorderly conduct
Or obstructing justice.
or obstructing. And I have to educate the cop. I'm like, do you know that in order for me to obstruct, I have to physically stop you from doing your job?
Right.
I could say whatever I want. You can't turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime. You just can't.
Right.
I said, if I'm physically trying to stop you from doing your job, that's obstruction.
I've actually had cops defend me. I was in Tempe, Arizona. I was on Mill Avenue. I think it's Mill Avenue. I forget if it's Mill Street, but it's where all it's definitely Mill Avenue. It's where all the bars are at Arizona State.
Yeah.
I was seeing this guy get arrested. I pulled out my camera and I start recording to hold everybody accountable.
Good for you. Good for you.
And his friends start
free on the press, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So his friends start getting mad at me and they're like, stop fucking recording him. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to protect your friend from getting his fucking ass beat by the cops. And they start surrounding me, and then the cops came over and they're like, what's going on? And they're like, he's recording our friend getting arrested. He's like, he's allowed to do that. That's his right. And then one of the guy's friends was I guess not retarded, or maybe he just wasn't drunk or whatever. He goes, no, he's like, you want him to do that in case the cops fucking assault him or do something wrong.
Exactly.
So, but people get stupid. They think I'm just trying to take a video because I want to get the drama. It's like, no, I want to make sure this guy doesn't get beat up or planted evidence on him or anything like that.
And I don't even see what the problem is. The second you walk out of your house, you're being recorded.
Yeah.
Those satellites in the sky are recording you the second you step out your house.
And by the way, if you have one of these, if you have an Amazon Alexa, if you have a laptop or a Mac that has a camera on it, chances are that shit could and probably is recording. I always assume that if there's a camera in the room, it's on and it's recording.
Yeah.
They
everywhere you go, you're being recorded.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
They arrested a murder suspect on conversations he had in the privacy of his home because they tapped into his Amazon Alexa in New York City. Anyway, going back, that happened. Look, there was a New York Post article about it last year, 2 years ago.
So what was the outcome with you recording those guys? Like what?
No, nothing. I was like,
well, his friends said, yo, you want him
the
to...
cops stood up for me and said he's allowed to record this. And then the other friend said, yo, he's right. He should record just in case if they assault him or plant evidence. And then the guys that were talking tough with me, they came over and apologized after. They go, yo, we thought you were just doing something for like Instagram or something. Actually, I don't even know Instagram was big back, but they basically said, we thought you were doing something for clout and we didn't realize you were doing something good. So, my bad, whatever. They all apologized because they were like pushing and shoving me at first. But going back to your story, so that they obstructed, what was it called? Prior obstruction.
Going back to that, it's called prior restraint. So him blocking
at that
me.
point, did you start throwing punches or what happened?
No. So he's blocking me from recording with this heavy metal sign, right?
Right.
And the bottom of the sign is very heavy.
Right.
And as he's trying to block me, it's swinging back and forth and it keeps hitting me in my shin. He's basically assaulting me.
Right.
Whether he's aware of it or not, he's basically assaulting me with the sign because it's connecting with my legs. So finally, as he's doing prior restraint, right?
And this is the public relations director, or what?
He's the public safety director, the head of...
And you want to know, public safety director, it's ironic that he's bashing your shades with a metal sign.
He's the head of security in that whole building. All the other security guards work under him.
Yeah.
So you'd think he would know better.
Yeah.
But no. So the other security guard behind me got my attention. So I went to go turn around to talk to him. And as my back is turned to him, he nails me in my spine and my left shoulder and assaulted me with the sign while my back was turned to him. My back was literally facing him, and he assaults me in the back when I wasn't looking.
Wow.
So I pushed the sign away to get it away from me. So he's holding the sign like this, and as I pushed the sign away, he hit himself in the face with the sign. You ever see the movie Private Parts with Howard Stern, where they're fighting over the phone? He lets go and he hits himself in the face with the phone. That's basically what happened. That's basically what happened.
Were you able to get surveillance footage of this incident?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not only did I have, because the surveillance camera
Did
footage
you have to submit a
doesn't
FOIL
have
request?
sound. Oh, no, my lawyer. I'll get into that in a second. So the security camera footage doesn't have sound, but my phone
Has sound.
has sound. And
So you're able to sync it together.
so it syncs together. Like it matches up perfectly with it. So I pushed the sign away. He hits himself in the face with the sign, right? And then he's like, "Oh, you assaulted me." And he takes me by my elbow and whatever and shoves me into the corner. So now my back is literally against the wall and I have nowhere to go. I'm surrounded by security guards and him. And he's pointing, he's like, blah, 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 blah. Then he goes to take a swing at me. So I do one of these and he grazes my chin and knocks the phone out of my hand. And then now, as far as the New York Penal Code for justification, which is the self-defense law in New York State, by the way, it's New York Penal Code 35.15. Look it up if you don't believe me. So everyone thinks that there is no self-defense law in New York. That is wrong. We do have self-defense, but it's very, 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 very hard to get it because they amended it to the point where you almost don't have a self-defense law. But everything I did falls within that law. The only way you can get it is if you have nowhere to go and you're being assaulted, you have a right to defend yourself. But you have to match energy with energy. If somebody swings at you once, you can't hit them twice or multiple times because then it's not self-defense anymore also.
Right.
So every time someone swings at you, you have a right to swing back. And whether they connect or not, even if they swing and miss, you still have a right to swing back.
Okay.
And I didn't hit him multiple times. I didn't even hit him twice. I hit him. He swung at me, grazed my chin, knocked the phone out of my hand. It's not my fault. All he did was graze my chin and knock the phone out of my hand, but I connected with his face when I threw my punch.
And what happened when you punched him in the face?
You assaulted me and blah, blah, blah. I said I was defending myself.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was number one, I was in fear for my life.
Yeah.
I was in fear for my life, okay? Like, I've seen so many videos where people get murdered by the police because they had their knee on the back of their neck. And every time they've ever died that way is because they never fought back. In my mind, I knew it was going in that direction, and I wasn't going to let it go to that direction.
Yeah.
So I defended myself because I was in fear for my life, and then my back was against the wall, and I had nowhere to go.
So did that punch create enough distance for you to get out of that situation?
No, they still surrounded me at that point because I went over, picked up my phone, and they were still like in my face in the corner.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could clearly, I have all the videos on my page of the video that I took plus all the surveillance camera footage. Now,
Right.
as you said before, how did I get the footage? Now, my crappy lawyer that I originally had, when I first hired him, we had a game plan, and he wanted this case so badly.
Right.
He wanted this case so badly. And, we had this game plan that we were going to do and everything. But once he left the judge's chambers, all of a sudden he looked like a scared deer in headlights and didn't do anything that most lawyers normally do. So I believe he was either threatened or paid off or both.
Very possible.
I believe allegedly that's probably what happened. Allegedly, because I don't know for sure, but I could pretty much almost guarantee it in a sense. Because he wasn't doing anything. He was very scared in that courtroom. I believe that's what happened because this judge, this corrupt, tyrannical, corrupt judge, Evan M. Zuckerman, and yes, I'm calling you out, you corrupt piece of crap. You're an embarrassment to your family. You're an embarrassment to anyone that wears that cape behind the judges. You are a disgrace to all judges, sir.
And he's a Suffolk County.
He's a Suffolk County judge in the criminal court, not the federal building, but the regular criminal.
Yeah, centralized.
At the Cohalan Court complex.
Evan Zuckerman.
Evan M. Zuckerman.
And he's not a good judge. He's
Oh no! In fact, when I was in jail
on this case or on a different case.
Oh, on this case,
Okay.
I got railroaded. Oh boy, did I get railroaded. We'll get into that too. Oh, there's more. There's more, folks. If you think this is bad, that ain't nothing compared to what happens when in the later conversation.
Wait, so before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
so they surrounded you. They called the cops. You were arrested there
So
and charged with
so
what?
once the cops get there. Oh, that's another thing. So I go back into the town clerk's office with so the other security guard who originally started the whole thing from the beginning in the front. This security guard, he grabs me and basically steals, which is a felony. He ripped the phone out of my hand and walked away with it.
Yeah, that's not right.
That is a felony. And what they charged me with was third-degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. Aren't they supposed to take the felony over a misdemeanor anyway?
You would think so.
You would think so, right?
But I think they're probably all buddies because
Oh, yeah.
he's a Suffolk County. This is a Suffolk County building. I guarantee you, the cops in that precinct are in there all the time. They're all.
Oh, yeah.
They're all buddy with the people that work in there.
When I was in jail, my wife found out, because we have friends who are private investigators and shit. I'm not naming any names because I definitely don't want to dox them. But she found out while I was in jail that his campaign, because
Evan Zuckerman?
Evan M. Zuckerman.
Evan M. Zuckerman?
So, yeah, judges have to be elected like politicians to get their job as a judge, right? His campaign was paid for. You ready for this? It was paid for by the Suffolk County Police Department.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a conflict of interest, is it not?
It is.
That is a huge conflict of interest. So he's obviously doing favors for the Suffolk County Police Department and the Huntington Town Hall. Joe Sorigliano, as a matter of fact.
Joe Sorigliano is a guy that they accused you of assaulting in the third degree.
Yep. And now, you know how most security guards are, most of them, not all of them, but most of them are usually like former police officers, right?
Right.
Not him. It was much worse. And I know what you're going to say. What could be worse than a former cop being a
What could be worse?
This MFer, right? He wasn't just in the Secret Service. He was the head of the Secret Service in the state of New York for over 20 years.
Holy shit.
And this is the guy I punched in the face to defend myself. So who do you think the corrupt judge is going to side with?
I think they're going to side with him.
You know, I didn't even know this before all that went down. I found out after the fact.
So they charged you with a misdemeanor third degree assault.
So it was a misdemeanor third degree assault was what they got me on.
Now, did you take it to trial or did you plea out?
Oh, I asked for a jury trial. And stupid me, thinking I'm going to get a randomly selected jury of our peers like we're supposed to.
Oh, you didn't get your peers? What did you get?
Oh, boy, was I ignorant. Oh, boy, was I ignorant. I should have known better. Like,
you didn't get a bunch of blue-collar America?
Oh, dude, I swear to God, I asked for a jury trial. Stupid me thinking I'm going to get a jury of my peers.
Yeah, you know, maybe you get, a few blue-collar guys.
No. Every single member was practically related to a police officer.
Are you serious?
And the only black juror there was an alternate.
And you thought you would have had a better shot with a couple black people on the jury?
And that's not even the worst part. One of the jurors, now, I didn't have to stick around for questioning of the jury. My lawyer, he was trying to convince me to not be there because I know I didn't trust him at this point because I knew something was up.
Is this a lawyer that's been disbarred since?
No.
Okay.
No, that was another juror. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that lawyer, and then my original lawyer went into hiding after this whole thing. He's not even practicing law anymore.
Where do you think he's hiding? You think he's on an island somewhere?
I don't know. All I know is that there's just no way to reach this guy. Like, he went missing and complete empty. Office is completely empty.
Wow.
Like he's no longer practicing law. I actually pulled up the record on that. So he went into hiding.
So we have a mystery of the disbarred attorney where he ended up.
So no, that's my appeal attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, even he got disbarred.
All right. But your original attorney,
my original attorney, yeah. So I didn't trust him at this point. So he's like, "Oh, you don't have to stick around for question." I go, "Oh no, I want to hear what the jury's gonna say. I want to hear this." So one of the jurors actually said that she's most likely going to be biased and most likely won't call it down the middle, but she's willing to look at the evidence. They selected the bitch to be on the fucking jury.
Why wouldn't he use one of his? Because he's
And
allowed
everybody's
to
like, "Oh well,
disqualify.
your lawyer agreed to it." I didn't agree to it. I did not agree to that at all.
You didn't?
I told him, no. He didn't do anything I was trying to tell him to do.
Damn.
And halfway through the trial, when I saw he wasn't objecting and when I saw he was letting them get away with all these questions, Joe Sirigliano committed perjury multiple times on that witness stand.
No way.
And of course, that corrupt judge was going to let him get away with all this crap that he was doing.
How did he perjure himself?
Lied. Everything he said was contradicted on the video.
I was going to say, did they show the video?
Oh, yes. Now, that's the one thing my lawyer did right was when I told him specifically, you are to get all of the cameras. The 2 cameras in the hallway, because I observed when I walked around. I'm observant to everything around me. I'm kind of like one of those people where if I go to a restaurant, I have to face where the front door is, where everybody's walking in.
Yeah, so you could see who's there.
I like to know my surroundings.
You want to have your back up against the wall so nobody could walk up behind you.
Exactly.
I'm that way when it comes to
Yes.
restaurants.
And the same thing. Like when I walked into that town building, I knew where all the cameras were.
Right.
So I said I specifically want the 2 cameras that were in the hallway. I want the camera that's inside the town clerk's office.
Right.
And I want the lobby from when you first walk in. So he got all of them. He subpoenaed it, but they sent it to him in an EXE file. Now, I don't know. I figured since you're very tech savvy, you probably know what an EXE file is.
Is that the one that's condensed and you have to like?
It's impossible to convert it into MP4.
Huh.
And it's impossible to upload it to YouTube or anything
Oh,
else.
okay. Is that why they did it that way?
Yeah, they sent it to my lawyer in an EXE file.
So how did you get it on your page?
The government knows that I'm connected to a lot of civil rights activists, and I know I'm
And the porn industry.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly, and everything else, and the entertainment industry as a whole. They know I'm very well known in the entertainment industry.
And this by the way, did this all affect your porn career or?
no, I'm not a porn star.
Oh.
I keep getting confused. Just because I dress up as a Magnum condom and did cosplay doesn't mean I'm a sex worker, folks. It was for shits and giggles. But anyway,
I keep getting confused by that.
an EXE file you can't upload. So basically what I did was and everyone says, well, how did you get it to YouTube? How did you upload it? It's very simple. I did it the ghetto way. I put it on my laptop and I recorded it on my cell phone and then I uploaded it.
Okay. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. That was going to be the way I was going to say to work around it, but
Yes. So that's what I did. And all the surveillance cameras are uploaded to my YouTube channel along with the videos that I took. Now, I'm not, my YouTube channel was only private for my family stuff. So I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I'm not, but I am a civil rights actor. I believe in our civil rights. And I wasn't going to let them trample on my civil rights and your civil rights. I didn't do it for me. I did it for each and every one of you free Americans out there. Because I could have easily have given my ID and been on my merry way.
yeah. But who wants to have to give their identification just to walk into a public building?
That we own.
Yeah. There's no reason for that shit.
And it was all because that's how the whole thing started.
So was it like, how much time did you actually spend in jail?
I'll tell you when we get to that point.
Okay.
So, all right. So now let's go into the whole court thing.
Okay.
All right. So we already established that the judge is corrupt. And
Evan
M. Zuckerman. He's
M.
a
Zuckerman.
tyrannical, corrupt judge.
We're naming names here.
I'm definitely doxing him. So, definitely doxing him. So,
Evan M. Zuckerman.
yeah. And listen, I already know the government's watching me with a fine-tooth comb because apparently Evan M. Zuckerman didn't like what I said about him on my social media pages. So that'll get into the sentence later, but I'll tell you how I got him so perturbed where he just said things that are Bro, let me just put it to you like this. I got him to say things that a judge would normally never admit while on the bench.
And do you think
He was
that
so
contributed
mad.
to your sentence?
Oh, it did. Because I never had a criminal history before this.
Okay.
Even the DA said that it should have been 3 years probation, anger management, and drug testing and stuff like that.
Community service.
But the DA, now, dude, the DA must have been fresh out of college because they basically gave this girl so she thought it was going to be an easy case, and they thought it was going to be an easy case. What the government didn't expect was that I knew the law better than anyone in that courtroom.
Right.
They weren't expecting me to know the law better than lawyers.
You could have probably done a better job representing yourself.
It's exactly, but that's frowned upon with judges.
Oh yeah, they don't like that.
They don't like that.
They think it undermines the whole process, and it makes it like less important if a common citizen has the ability to do what.
Self-education.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Self-education, because I'll be honest, I don't even have a high school diploma.
And by the way, that's more corruption. That's kind of like when Martin Luther took the power away from the Catholic Church by translating the Bible so that anybody could read it. They didn't like that because that took control away. And by you being able to represent yourself and not having to go to the bar association to get a lawyer that plays by their rules and plays their games, then that takes the power dynamic away from them a little bit.
Oh yeah, and this girl, like, listen, she was just she
was fresh out of college. How old do you think she was?
She must have been fresh out of college, bro. She was.
How old do you think she was?
Dude, she still had pictures on her social media pages of her.
Oh, you were friends with her on Facebook?
Oh no. I just did a quick simple Google search of her, and dug into her history a bit.
Okay.
And
did you have any mutuals?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Listen. I'm gonna be honest here. There are rumors, allegedly, that she gets passed around like a peace pipe. That's just what I heard. I don't know for a fact. I never tried and I never will. But I mean, from what I heard, I don't know. I mean, this is just what I heard, and I didn't believe it, so I Google searched her, and lo and behold, there she is in pictures on her profile where she's at parties and shit, and she's in her cheerleader outfit and stuff. So from her younger days, I guess, or whatever. But
now, does she look anything like AOC?
Say that again.
Does she look anything like AOC? Is she like a young, attractive?
I mean, if I drank enough, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Did
you have mutual friends with her on social media?
I mean, it's like one of those things where if you drink enough, anything starts to look good at the.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, she was cute. I mean, she was a cute young,
And this is
to me, it's like robbing the cradle. So automatically, it's disgusting to me. But
the assistant district attorney.
But
in your case.
She was the district. She was the
district.
She was the district attorney.
Okay.
Fresh out of college, bro. I swear, fresh. This girl must have been like, I swear to God, she was like mad young. I'm not even gonna lie. But anyway,
did she dress provocatively in court?
I mean, it was courtroom worthy, I would say. But
but not on her social media. No.
No.
Social media, skimpy, scandally clad.
Yeah.
Drinking, partying.
I'll give you that name later on so you can look it up yourself. But I'm not gonna
dox her.
I'm not gonna dox her. She doesn't know any better. She was ignorant herself. So she was very ignorant. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But you're gonna laugh your ass off at this one, folks. So anyway,
so what exactly were the rumors about her getting passed around?
So anyway, let me get down to the long and skinny of it. So basically, she was just handed this case.
Yeah.
And I know what the government did. They needed someone to be the scapegoat as the DA, where she steps in crap. She was a rookie, so
she didn't have any connections to protect her. So yeah,
they always give the rookies these kind of cases
that nobody else wants.
That nobody else wants, exactly. So she didn't know what she was getting herself into with me, and the government and the judge, they all thought I was ignorant because on paper, like I said, I don't have a high school diploma.
Right.
I didn't I even then I didn't really believe in the school systems and stuff like that. doesn't mean that I was,
Abolish the
you know.
Department of Education.
Yeah, so in hindsight, on paper, I'm dumb as shit.
Right.
So they thought. And I guess they thought they were going to have their way with me like they do with most people that come through the courtrooms. They weren't expecting this defendant to be educated,
Right.
you know? So
Capable.
yeah. But so basically I saw how it was going through the whole court, through the whole case. My lawyer was letting them get away with so much crap, and I ended up firing him halfway through the case.
Okay. Smart move. You get a little bit more time.
Now, the judge, I guess, didn't expect me to know that I knew this, and I fired my attorney due to ineffective assistance of counsel. So I told the judge, I said, Judge, I'm just letting you know before we continued this morning, I'm just letting you know that I just now fired my attorney due to ineffective assistance of counsel. So by law, you now have to grant me a mistrial under my Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial. And of course, I had a shit-eating grin on my face, letting him know that I just called them out on it. And he just laughed. He's like, oh, really? Oh, really? He's like, well, guess what? We're going to continue the trial anyway, and you have one of two choices. You could either represent yourself, or you could rehire the attorney you just fired, but we're continuing this trial right now. I said, I want it on record now that you just now violated my rights. You just now violated my Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial again.
So you had that on.
You already violated it multiple times, but now you really violated it.
Right.
And I just want that on record.
So now that's on record.
So now they call that's even if it's that part's in the transcripts, because they you know how they are. They could leave things out.
Stenographer could leave it out. She could be bought and paid for too.
Exactly. I don't trust that either. But
so they bypass your Sixth Amendment right.
So instead of representing myself, obviously
you rehired the guy that you didn't trust.
The guy that I just didn't trust. So now it's my turn to go on the stand.
Oh wow, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Buckle up, folks.
This is where you're gonna have a good time, folks. So so now it's my turn. Now I'm on the stand to be examined, right? So, you know, they start, you know, we start showing the footage. Now, oh, by the way, during their whole testimony, they showed all the surveillance cameras except for one. And I know why they were leaving that one out.
Uh-oh. So there was evidence on
So on my testimony, I made sure they played all of them, including the one that they left out.
Right.
I said, you can't continue this trial until you show everything that's in the, what do you call that? The discovery. I was like, there's another video that you're hiding that's in discovery. I said, I want you to play that video right now. We are not continuing until you play that video. So, of course, this video that they left out actually shows him assaulting me in the back with that weapon. And as soon as they did, all of a sudden you hear everybody in the audience go, So we start playing all that stuff, right? And I start telling them how and here's another thing. During their whole testimony, not once did they bring up the fact that I violated any crime. They kept saying that I violated their policy.
Right.
So I brought that up in my testimony. I was like, you know, I find it funny how you didn't mention any crimes that I committed. I said, you only mentioned policy. And everybody knows that policy does not supersede the law. The law supersedes the policy. It's a public building. It's our building. We own it. So during my whole testimony or whatever, I was showing how they were violating the law, not me. I said, that's prior restraint. I said that. And every time I kept mentioning any laws, the DA kept saying, objection, 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 objection. And of course, he's like, oh, well, you're not a lawyer and you never went to school for this. So sustained, 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 sustained.
Right.
So during the cross-examination, I guess she forgot that she objected so many times and actually brought up shit that was sustained. But now that she brought it up, now it's on record.
Right.
That's how dumb this broad was. She actually brought up shit that she forgot she objected to. and he sustained it. So now if the Supreme Court looks at it, they're going to say, well, that's funny. This wasn't mentioned before, and now she's bringing it up.
Right.
Something's amiss here. So yeah, she literally stepped in shit with that one. That's how ignorant she was. And she actually had the audacity in cross-examination to ask me if I asked for permission to record in the town clerk's office. Do you know what my answer was to that?
That you don't need to ask for permission.
No, I answered the question with a question. I said, well, did Rosa Parks ask for permission to sit at the front of the bus? And everybody went, I was like, yeah, she didn't ask for permission, and that was her civil right. And me recording in the town clerk's office is my civil right, and I didn't have to ask for permission either. And she went, frantically looking for like the next thing to say. She literally stepped in shit with that one. And it's true. It's actually true. And I guess it was a touchy subject to bring up Rosa Parks, but that was an example. She didn't have to ask for permission to sit at the front of the bus because that was her right, folks. And it was my right to record whether people liked it or not. I had a right to record in that town clerk's office.
You damn right you did.
And I didn't have to ask for permission. Because if you watch the video, original video, there was a lady in the office saying, oh, I don't want you to record my child and blah, blah, blah. I said, this is public, man. Get over it.
Right.
You're in public. You know, not to mention the fact there was cameras in the town clerk's office recording it anyway, which I can FOIL request.
You can.
But yeah, I mean, this is just the retardation level of this young DA who was so ignorant. She was like fresh out of college and she was dumb as nails. And listen, if you're listening, it's not your fault. It's not. You're young and dumb. I mean, I was young and dumb once too, so I understand. You have a right to be dumb. That's, you know.
That's your constitutional right.
That's your constitutional right too, is to be dumb. You know?
Just like Rosa Parks had the right to sit down on the bus. You have the right to be dumb.
Exactly. And so, of course, I was found guilty for not committing a crime. I was found guilty for third-degree assault, and now comes the sentencing. Well, after I was found guilty, and I went on social media, and I completely went off saying how tyrannical and corrupt Evan M. Zuckerman was by name, doxing him on my page. And I guess he must have gotten like emails and phone calls. And of course, once the videos went viral and everything, once all this went viral, I'm guarantee you that people were trying to reach out to him.
We're definitely going to tag Evan.
Because Evan M. Zuckerman has a Facebook page too, folks.
And we could tag him.
And I'm doxing him right now. That's right. So, yeah.
We're calling you out.
We're calling you out, Evan M. Zuckerman. So, tyrannical, corrupt judge, Evan M. Zuckerman. But yeah.
So
if you want to redress your grievances, by all means, knock yourself out, folks, because you have the right to redress your grievances with your government.
When did he bring up your social media post during the trial?
Well, so at the sentencing, so he's like, oh, the DAs are like, well, we recommend 3 years. He doesn't have a criminal record before, so we recommend 3 years probation. We recommend anger management. We recommend, drug testing and all this nonsense or whatever. And he's like, how dare you calling me out on social media saying I'm a tyrannical, corrupt judge, blah, 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 blah. He goes, well, guess what? Your civil rights were meant to be amended. He said this on the bench.
Holy shit.
And it's in the transcripts. He said this on the bench. He said that our civil rights are meant to be amended, as if he could just change the laws because he's a judge. As if he could just create laws and make up laws on his own. He says our rights are meant to be amended, as if he could just violate everyone's rights like he violated my Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial multiple times.
This guy does sound tyrannical.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But he actually said that. And I know it sounds like I'm lying, but he was that flustered.
We could do a FOIL request for the transcript.
Exactly. I mean, it probably costs a lot of money, but yes, you can. He actually said that our civil rights are meant to be amended, and he was very mad that I called him out on his corruption on my social media pages. And so he says, so he told the DAs, no, he deserves worse than that. He goes, you deserve worse than that. He goes, I sentenced you to 6 months in the county jail so you could learn your lesson and blah, blah, blah.
To standing up to tyranny.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how long did they take you right to Riverhead from there? Or did you have time?
I went straight to Yaphank because that's where they did, you have to be quarantined for like a week and a half.
Okay.
It was like, I think it was like, I was in there for like 9 or 10 days or whatever.
Okay.
And then they transferred me to Riverhead. So now I'm in Riverhead for like a week and a half. And then they transferred me back to Yaphank. And then I did the remainder of the sentence in Yaphank.
Okay.
I did 4 months good behavior. And, you know, the dumbest thing that tyrannical, corrupt judge Evan M. Zuckman could have ever done
We'll send you to jail.
was put a civil rights activist in a jail facility.
Oh, did you spread a lot of the good word in there?
Oh, most of the inmates already knew who I was.
They did?
The inmates are very smart, despite that they're criminals. But everything I've always preached, even before all this, was I always preached that there are granted, there's obviously more criminals than not in the prison and jail, but you'll be surprised how many innocent people are in prisons and jails. I mean, just recently, every year, there's always on the news of people now being found innocent the entire time, and they've already served like 2 decades in prison.
Oh, yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're found innocent,
Yep.
and it costs the taxpayers millions of dollars
Of course.
because of their tyrannical corruption, because they're too lazy to do actual police work. And the amount of corruption I saw in the jail facilities. I mean, the dumbest thing that corrupt judge could have ever did was put a civil rights activist in a jail facility, because I can't investigate jails and prisons from the outside of them. So the only way I could really investigate is by being put inside.
So he almost did you a favor by putting you
Oh,
in
he
jail.
did. He did. Did I want to be there? No, but I'm glad I was.
You learned a lot in there.
And let me tell you something. Those inmates knew I was going to be their voice when I got out. They knew.
Mm-hmm.
They knew. I didn't get into one fight while I was in jail. I got in a few arguments, but I didn't get into any fights. The only close calls I had with fights maybe was with the COs.
Mm-hmm.
The corrupt ones anyway, because there were a couple of good ones in there too. But you could tell which ones were tyrannical and which ones weren't. And I'm talking like they were serving outdated food to inmates on purpose to the point where I had 102 fever from food poisoning.
Holy shit. They gave you fucking food poisoning in there?
Yep. And they serve outdated food on purpose to inmates.
Is that to save money or to punish you?
Both. In my opinion, both. Both. Without a doubt. Without a doubt in my mind.
It's not a fun place to have food poisoning.
Yeah, so they served outdated food to inmates on purpose to the point where I got food poisoning. 102 fever, no less. They had bunk beds blocking fire exits.
That's a fire hazard.
Yes, it is. And they also had no sprinkler systems in case of a fire.
Wow.
They were heavily violating inmates' rights. Like, granted, inmates don't have the same rights as regular American citizens on the outside of those walls, but they still have what you call inmates' rights. Like medical. Medical is mandatory.
Yeah, you can't be denied health care.
Medication is mandatory. Going to the yard an hour a day is mandatorily our choice whether we want to go to the yard or not. But for an hour a day, we're supposed to have the yard, and it's our choice whether to go or not. But it is highly illegal for them to make you choose between taking your medicine or going to the yard. They're supposed to have the medical window, where if you missed the medical cart because you went to the yard, they're supposed to let you go to the window to get your medicine. They weren't doing that. So let me get this straight. If I take my medicine at the medical cart and I don't go to but that means I don't get to go to the yard and get fresh air an hour a day. Or if I go to the yard, there's a chance I might miss the medical cart, which there were times I missed the medical cart. And if you don't take your medicine, there's a chance you might die.
That sounds like a right being violated right there.
They were heavily violating inmates' rights. The Suffolk County correctional facilities in both Riverhead and Yaphank are very corrupt. And they were given random beatdowns for no reason.
Like blanket parties?
Just because they didn't like me saying no to their unlawful directives. When I was calling them out on violating my inmates' rights, they didn't like that shit.
So they just throwing beatings?
Yep. And then I did a complaint, which was frowned upon. They were basically trying to threaten me without threatening me, but I knew what they meant. But I did it anyway. I'm like, hey, if you're going to do it, do it. I ain't afraid of dying. If I die, it's going to be for a good cause. Everyone that knows me knows it ain't going to be suicide. They know it ain't going to be because an inmate did it. I mean, I've been telling them every day I was on the phone with my wife, giving her, I said, honey, write this stuff down. So if they say anything, they can't say it because we have it documented.
Right.
Yeah, that's smart. So I had everything documented. So I kept building a case against them. The longer I was in there, the more I was building a case against them. In fact, the first couple of weeks that I was in jail, there was a lot of tyrannical, corrupt COs that were, treat me like crap and treat me like shit like every other inmate. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, after a couple of weeks, these same tyrannical pieces of shit that were treating me like shit are now kissing my ass all of a sudden.
Is it because they thought that you had evidence on them and documentation?
Well, what I found out, now, me personally, I don't trust anybody that kisses my ass. Because if people are kissing your ass, it's either because they're hiding something or because they want something. Mm-hmm. So I don't trust anybody that kisses my ass. Especially people that I know were treating me like shit. Now all of a sudden they're kissing my ass. I really don't trust that.
Yeah, something ain't right there.
Yeah. So I asked one of the news. I could tell this one of the COs that were watching the dorm or whatever. I could tell he was kind of new, you know. And then the way he was looking at these same corrupt pieces of shit that I didn't like, he was grilling, like he kept grilling them. So I had a feeling he didn't like them too. And so I asked him, I said, look, you seem like a good kid. I said, you treated me with respect, you treat the inmates with respect, and, you seem to be, doing it the right way. I was like, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, you don't have to answer this. I was like, but I'm going to ask if that's okay. He's like, yeah. I was like, when I first got here, I said, a lot of these COs, and you know which ones I'm talking about, I was like, a lot of these COs were treating me like shit and was heavily like violating me like crazy. I said, and now all of a sudden, these same COs that were treating me like shit are now kissing my ass. I said, you wouldn't happen to know why by any chance, do you? And he goes like this. Dude, you're famous. I was like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're that civil rights activist dude that's all over the news, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, they're trying to be on their best behavior around you. I was like, oh, well, you could tell them they already stepped in shit. It's too late. I already got all their names and shit. I was like, I'm a FOIA request that when I get out too. I was like, but you could already let them know. I prefer them treat me the way they would treat me originally, because let them keep digging themselves a deeper hole. They're already fucked once I get out. I was like, let them know I said it. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so I did the complaint, right?
Right.
Now, they're supposed to get back to you within a certain amount of time with your complaint, with the resolution to what's going on or whatever, right?
Right.
Comes back to me even later than he was supposed to. And he has the wrong date on the thing saying, sign it. I was like, that's not today's date. I was like, you were supposed to come back sooner than that. He's like, sign it. I was like, I'm not signing shit. I was like, that's not the right date. He's like, sign it. He goes, and he gives me a look like, if you don't, he gave me that look like, you really want to go there? So I signed it anyway, because I kind of knew where it was heading. So I signed it. But in that report, they actually admit to violating my inmates' rights while saying they found no wrongdoing. They investigated themselves and found no wrongdoing. That's like me committing murder, saying I investigated myself and found no wrongdoing.
Yeah. Even though you admit to committing the murder.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, does this not sound wrong, folks? I mean, this happens all the time. Try going to a police precinct and go to Eternal Fast saying, oh yeah, this cop did this, and that. They always investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing.
Yeah.
The only time they find wrongdoing is when they get sued finally.
Yep.
When enough video evidence and enough people bitch and complain about it, and enough citizens actually redress their grievances. Now all of a sudden now they found wrongdoing.
So what are your next steps here for this corrupt, tyrannical judge and for these corrupt, tyrannical? Are you doing?
Well, I tried to appeal it. I tried to appeal it. In fact, we hired an appeal attorney.
And how's he doing on the case?
My wife hired him while I was still in jail, right?
Okay. Is he doing a good job?
No. As a matter of fact, he got disbarred.
Oh, okay.
And, he basically stole over $30-something thousand from my wife and I.
Wow.
Took the money. First of all, he lied to us. He lied to my wife saying that he put in, and he lied to me on the phone saying that he put in for a habeas corpus lawsuit to try to get me out sooner. Never happened. He's kept saying they were dragging their feet and they're most likely going to be in there the remainder of the time anyway. He says, he said it's documented that I put in for the habeas corpus, right? Then he says that, he kept saying he was going to put in for the appeal, and he was putting in for the appeal. Go to find out, he never put in for the appeal or the habeas corpus.
So were you able to request a refund for the $30-something thousand?
We're still going through that now, as a matter of fact. So go to find out that, he got disbarred. And I found this out because that tyrannical, corrupt, at the time when he was working, because I find it ironic, he was only at the Huntington Town Hall for 5 years, and then he retired from that all of a sudden. But Joe Sorigliano is no longer the, just to give you an update, he's no longer the public safety director of the Huntington Town Hall. He actually left not too long after what happened. So
I don't blame him.
Yeah. So, and trust me, he got a lot of backlash from the public on that one. But yeah, so he's actually trying to sue me.
The judge or Joe
Sorigliano's trying to sue me
for defending yourself?
For defending myself, yes.
Holy shit.
So during this trial, halfway through, he got disbarred. And now I don't trust lawyers at all, period. I mean, I never really trusted them to begin with, but now I have every right not to believe in them because of what happened to me. 2 lawyers burned me. 2 lawyers burned me. So now I'm doing pro se.
Yeah.
Now, I may not know the legal terms. May not know the court lingo and all this crap and all the little stupid rules to try to stop you from telling the truth. Because that's exactly the way... let me tell you, the judicial system is so one-sided. They'd make it so it's almost impossible to defend yourself in a court of law. They come up with all this lingo and all this stuff that you have to jump through all these hoops to even get the truth out. So I don't know all the court lingo and the rules or whatever, but I do know the law and I do know the truth. And I believe that the truth will set me free, because I might not have been a criminal of a law, but to me, I wasn't a prisoner because I committed a crime. I was a prisoner of war on our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't commit a crime to be there. I was an innocent man in jail. Never committed a crime. I never had a criminal record before that either. So I'm not a criminal, but I was in jail with the criminals, and I was in jail with other innocent people because I asked other people, and I
a lot of them said they were also innocent.
Listen, no, not all of them. I mean, a lot of people knew they were in there because they fucked up. But a lot of people in jail and prison, they just want to serve their time and get out. A lot of them do want to rehabilitate, believe it or not. And then they're the ones who are happy they're there, and I'm guaranteed they'll do the same shit when they get out.
Right.
But there's also a pretty good amount of innocent people in jail and prisons too. And now I am everything I've ever preached before. I am now living proof of everything I've ever preached before that.
Absolutely.
I didn't belong there. And I wasn't, like I said, I was not a prisoner because I committed a crime. I was a prisoner of war on our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're in jail and you didn't commit a crime, but yet you're serving an entire sentence without committing a crime, is that not war on your freedom?
Yeah, you're a victim of the tyranny and the corruption.
That's right.
So, and then the second lawyer that burned you, he's nowhere to be found now.
No, he could be found. He He's still around. He's just not. He's barred. He's barred from practicing law.
Okay, so he was
first
disbarred that went into hiding.
My first lawyer went into hiding.
Okay, the second
The
lawyer,
second one,
he's around, but he's disbarred and doesn't.
yes. And I'm not going to dox him because I'll tell you guys off the record. I will tell you guys off the record. But yeah, I mean, because he stole over $30,000 from my wife and I.
Right.
And we weren't the only clients he stole from. In fact, he stole a lot more from other clients too. If you think $30,000 is a lot, he stole from.
Did he get disbarred because he didn't represent his clients properly? And
Exactly. He made promises and excuses and promises and excuses and excuses and excuses. Lo and behold, he never did anything he said he was going to do.
how many complaints against him did it take before he got disbarred?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a lot for that to happen. But now I'm doing pro se because I don't trust no motherfucking lawyer.
Right.
I went to see this other lawyer who one of my friends recommended me to go talk to him. But even him, I had to educate. I can't hire this guy. He doesn't even know I'm like, dude, how do you not know this? You're a lawyer. I was like, you're a criminal defense lawyer and you don't know this? I feel bad for the clients that you represent.
Young guy just out of college?
No, this guy was actually, he had a pretty cocky attitude too. Like I'm Mr. So-and-so.
Is he in Huntington or where is he at?
And trust me, and he had some reputable cases.
Is he located in Huntington?
No, actually, Melville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his office is in Melville, actually, which is the town Huntington.
No, the lawyer that I usually use is in Huntington. That's why I was asking.
They're all, yeah.
But is
he like every other lawyer, or?
I'll tell you off the record.
Yeah. And yeah, we should definitely go grab some food at the.
I've got some lawyer stories, but I'm not going to get into them on the air. It's federal shit, but
no doxing like I'm doing.
Well, because honestly,
I'm only doxing the judge, just to be honest.
I'm not even entirely sure that I'm allowed to talk about the things that happen. So I gotta wait and see. I gotta find out what the deal is. But
I dare the judge. Listen, Evan M. Zuckerman, I challenge you. If you don't like what I'm saying, I challenge you
to an arm wrestling contest.
I challenge you to try. Because listen, I already know that the government's watching me because I actually saw a few times these black SUVs with dark tinted windows spying on me and shit, trying to intimidate me. Newsflash: I don't get intimidated easily. I ain't afraid of dying, so keep doing it. I really don't give a shit.
Is this a Suffolk County PD that's behind this?
I don't know. It could be the government. I don't know. Yeah. All I see is black SUVs with very dark tinted windows.
They don't like when people resist.
Oh, I know they don't. In fact, well, I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to bring this up on the air. I mean, let's just say.
We're going to wrap up soon.
Yeah, let's just say there were whistleblowers that told me things anonymously. I mean, I'll tell you one whistleblower, actually, during the whole court case, when I was there, I was so gung-ho that I was innocent and I knew I was going to win or whatever. And this random dude comes up to me in the hallway. Apparently he knows people that know of me or whatever, but he's deep within the system. And he told me, he said,
system.
And he basically told me, he said, look, he says, I know you're innocent. I know what happened to you. He goes, but you're going down hard. You just don't see it yet.
Holy shit.
He says, I know things. I was like, what's your name? He goes, I can't tell you.
He
told me this in the hallway in the Suffolk County court.
He's like one of the men in black, basically.
He was wearing a gray suit, but
He was wearing a gray suit.
But apparently he was within the know. And he wasn't the only one though, but he was the main one.
Well, there are multiple people giving you these signals, these tips along the way.
Of course, let me tell you something. The people that were in the courtroom, and trust me, mine was a misdemeanor case, okay? Those courtrooms are never packed out. But because they knew it was a civil rights case and they knew, even though it was a misdemeanor, that entire courtroom was packed out with people watching. I'm talking other DAs watching. I'm talking other lawyers watching. I'm talking other government officials that work for the government were there watching. And there were civil rights activists that were there in attendance as well. That courtroom was packed out.
Yeah. So it looks like the next steps, like you're not stopping here until you get justice for you and for everybody else.
I'm going to keep fighting for justice, whether win or lose.
Until the day you die.
Until the day I die. I'm willing to die on this hill that I'm fighting on. Legally. Just to let you know, so that I don't need any misconstrued. So
yeah, because the next thing you know, they'll say that you were doing some crazy attack.
Legally, I'm gonna be your worst fucking nightmare.
That's
to anyone in the
Zuckerman,
to anyone in the government, especially corrupt judges
like Evan M. Zuckerman.
Listen, there are good judges out there. There are plenty of good judges out there. I'm not going to take it out on them for what somebody else did. That's another thing that pisses me off about the public. There are good police officers and there's bad police officers. There's good public officials and there's bad public officials. Lately, there used to be more good than bad. At least I used to believe there used to be more good than bad. But lately, there's been more bad than good. And the bad apples are spreading, folks. And if we don't do anything to stop it, it's going to continue and get worse. We are going to be North Korea by the end of by the end of time. We are right now. You'll be surprised how many civil rights you think you have that you don't have because it got washed away. And what I'm trying to do is fight for our civil rights that we still have and try to gain the ones we lost along the way. That's what I'm trying to do for the people.
Where can people get behind you? Where can people follow you to get behind your cause here? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
I'm under Vinny the Benedetto, VINNY space capital DIBENEDETTO because they said Vinny the Guido is not a real
name.
It's not a real name, so I had to actually put Vinny the Guido in the parentheses in the nickname.
Okay.
But Vinny the Benedetto on Facebook. I also have a fan page. That's Vinny the Guido fan page on Facebook. Vinny the Guido on Instagram. I have Twitter. I'm sorry, political correctness. I'm on X, but I'm hardly on X. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hardly on it.
So Instagram and Facebook.
I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, and then are you on Pornhub too, or
no? But and yes, to close it out, I'll let everybody know what I do. I work in the pro wrestling industry as a heel manager, and I get booed. I also do color commentary because if I don't have to bump, why not? I mean, I'm 48 years old. I mean, I'm kind of limited to how many more times I could bump before, between car accidents and pro wrestling, my body's mangled to shit.
And corrupt COs.
And getting attacked by corrupt politicians and corrupt people and stuff, Yes. But I also I'm a regular actor as well in the entertainment industry. I'm an actor as well.
Like AFTRA?
And I also did cosplay for 15 years as a Magnum Condom at the Exotica Expo in Edison, New Jersey.
Did you go this year?
Yes, this was the last year. In fact, I retired my costume. I mean, you have to understand, I did it for 15 years. I mean, I'm a very, very used condom at this point, and I have holes all over me, so I'm really not protecting shit anymore anyway.
Right.
But anyway, I'm retiring the costume. I'm most likely going to probably donate it to the Museum of Sex in New York City.
Okay. And so we could see that costume at the Museum of
I
Sex?
was told by a couple of porn star friends of mine that they are kind of interested in my costume since I made the retirement announcement of the costume. So I may be donating it to them. I've also got a lot of money offers for it, so I'm kind of in between.
I think the museum is a good place for an artifact like that. It deserves the respect and to be able to be visited by the public, I think.
And the thing is, I'm not even a sex worker, but I don't think I belong in the Museum of Sex. I mean, I think it should be more deserving to like.
But you inspired so many sex workers.
Well, yeah, I inspire.
You're important to the industry, no matter how you look at it.
I know, and trust me, they did say that to me, and I didn't realize how much I meant until after I said I was going to retire it. There were people actually crying to me at the convention. I can't believe you're not doing this anymore. It's not going to be the same. And I'm like, listen, I'm still going to come and support. I'm just not going to dress up as a Magnum condom. Yeah, but you're just such a staple here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't realize I meant that much to people. I mean, I was just doing it for shits and giggles, really. I was doing it for networking abilities and for comedy and stuff. I wasn't really doing it for that. But yeah, I mean, I was told that that I don't think I belong in a Hall of Fame for the sex industry or the Museum of Sex, but
some people do believe that you belong there.
I know. I don't agree with it, but it's true. I mean, it's true though. But I mean, they said I'm too modest, and I really do belong there. And I'm like, I just don't see it. But I'm not at work, But hey, I mean, dude, if anything, I should be in a pro wrestling Hall of Fame before a sex museum or a Hall of Famer. Like, who wants to enshrine? I mean, I get it. I'm a big dick, and I've been a dick my whole life. And this is the one time a year I could actually dress like a dick and be a dick, and I'm actually loved at the convention because everybody loves a big dick at the porn convention.
Right.
But usually I'm frowned upon.
Yeah.
Usually I'm frowned upon.
So I just want to thank you again for coming on and talk. We'll definitely do this again. You're a gentleman, a scholar,
former stand-up comedy. I don't do that anymore.
Former stand-up comic.
Yeah, people get butthurt. People get butthurt way too easily now.
A civil rights activist.
Yep.
And our friend. So thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if you love civil rights and you love stuff like that, I'm going to give a shout out
to Evan M. Zuckerman.
Evan M. Zuckerman, now. Evan M. Zuckerman, this is for you, baby. Yeah, this is for you. I actually give a shout out to the Witch's Brew, man.
Oh, that's a great place. I love it.
They actually have civil rights activist stuff like on the front when you first walk into the actual restaurant.
I like that place.
They support civil rights activists over there, actually. And
I'm sure they know who you are.
And for that reason alone, if you love your civil rights, you should definitely contribute to their restaurant because.
And if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, we're here because we support civil rights also, and we love the Witch's Brew. So hit me up on Gmail, powerofnowpod@gmail.com. Or you could just hit me up on.
You should write a book. People say that to me all the time, but I don't know the first thing of writing a book.
Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna wrap this up. Have a great day. Have a great week, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Ciao. And remember, people, other people's misfortune is my entertainment. Good night, everybody.